Subscribe and ring the bell to never miss an update. Hello everyone, making spirits bright this season with affordable and sustainable shopping. Today on Lady Mary Beth, I'm taking you along to the Charity Guild shop. We will thrift this store for tabletop essentials to style a festive Christmas table. Lots to discover today with a bit of history along the way. Join me. It's always a great day at the Charity Guild shop. You will find them in the Houston Thrift Guide and on the map. And I will put their information in the video description. They were voted Houston's #1 4 years in a row. Best of the best for consignment store, antique shop, and thrift store. There's always something wonderful to discover here. And I also shop their jewelry section and got some great fashion. We're all about the Christmas table today. We can also incorporate decorative elements. It could simply be a grouping of ornaments or a cookie jar. This could be placed on a cake stand for $20. That could be the star of the show. And we will be looking for some great additions and inspiration to dress the Christmas table. And they even have a giant Santa gnome. And this one has already sold. Just waiting on a truck to take it home. And many of us also decorate the breakfast room, the kitchen, and any of these items would be great additions. Fitz and Floyd, salt and pepper shakers, and lots of Santas and ornaments you could fill in a Waterford bowl. Welcome to the Charity Guild of Catholic Women. It's one-stop shopping for everything we need this season to dress, decorate, entertain, and gift. We will shop this charity resale and pull the elements of the table together to create a festive Christmas setting. Let's get started. Oh, the deals we have found over the years at the Charity Guild. It's always exciting to shop for china, crystal, silver, and so much more for the season. It's always a good idea to shop your local charity resale when you're hosting guests for the holidays and perhaps need a few more plates or tabletop essentials. There are 4 basic components of the table setting: dishes, drinkware, flatware, and linens. We can draw inspiration from any of these categories, and I'm starting with linens today. Let's have a look. The linen department awaits. Sometimes they also have bed linens new in a package. This set of sheets is from Sephora, and that could work well for a banquet table, a buffet. We're focused on the Christmas table. I like these cherry red napkins for every day. Priced at $16 for a set of 8. $2 a napkin is a deal. These are from Ralph Lauren. An even better deal. I'm looking at this green. Not sure that I want the ivy for the Christmas table, but that's still a good price. A set of 10 for $19. I found some sterling silver napkin rings in this bin for $20 a dozen. The holly would be ideal for a Christmas look. And they pair nicely with a cherry red. Let's look at the damask napkins. I want something a little bit more elegant than the everyday Ralph Lauren. I like the patterns on these. And that cranberry red. I like the texture on these napkins. That adds some interest to our celebration napkin fold, and these holly-themed napkin rings will be perfect. Instead of a solid colored tablecloth that we also find here, I'm going to venture into the Christmas section and see what they have for us there. Vintage Christmas linens are more popular than ever, and this is a fair price at $22. That would look great on my breakfast table next to the whimsical tree. The gold mesh is fun for setting a garland or buffet. some candy cane placemats, and a tablecloth that looks familiar. Priced at $18.75. This is the Williams-Sonoma 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. And this just might be our tablecloth. Let's have a closer look. I could see milk glass featured on this and focus on that beautiful red. I'm thinking about that, but I want to look at some more options that is vintage and fun, but a bit overpowering unless we use white dishes. The holly design is classic. This would be a great pairing with our cranberry red napkins and holly napkin rings. I'm loving this cranberry double velvet ribbon. This is priced at $30, and I'm wondering about the manufacturer. A classic Christmas design with the holly and berries. In looking for the brand, I find a tag. We see it is made in India. I don't see the manufacturer here, but there is an RN number. That is the registration number, and if we look this up, it is made by Fieldcrest. Fieldcrest is a brand owned by the Iconics Group. It is rooted in American textile history dating back to 1893 in North Carolina. The Fieldcrest brand tied to this RN number is often sold under the Threshold line at Target and Wayfair. Lots of dish options. I see the Old Britain castles from Johnson Brothers and a transfer pattern that is 36 pieces, priced at $275. It is a retired pattern, one that I've not seen before. But the back stamp gives us lots of great information. From Williams-Sonoma, made by a famous China manufacturer with a great history in Staffordshire, England. And I'm thinking the dinner plates would work beautifully with our tablecloth. A transferware pattern for all seasons. It features grape leaves, berries, and wheat. Would work well for a non-traditional Christmas edition and for every day. It was made in 2004 by Spode for Williams-Sonoma and has lots of detailing based on a hand engraving. Blue Willow is a classic pattern that is chinoiserie and made predominantly by Johnson Brothers and Churchill today. This one has a fluted edge. The picture is Flow Blue. We'll have to have a look at the back stamp. Some great history there with the Flow Blue and 3 different distinct periods. This one is made in Staffordshire. There's the early, middle, and late Victorian periods for Flow Blue. The whimsical plates would be fun for a ladies' luncheon with the candy canes. We could be a bit eclectic with the place setting. Some more options with the folk art. And I'm looking for something to reflect the holly pattern. And this would be a great option. And all we need are 4 plates. It's perfect. I like to blend the ordinary with the extraordinary. This may not have a beautiful back stamp made for the Hallmark Company, but it will pair nicely with our Spode transferware. The #1 selling Christmas dish pattern. Spode Christmas Tree was created in 1938 by English designer Harold Holdway. For the American market, he incorporated unique elements like the Santa Claus as a tree topper. This bread and butter plate is well priced at $4. Even if this is not your pattern, it would be a great candle plate and other ways you could utilize this. I love that wide green band. It is a festive pattern that we see on many tables. I see those red candle holders. It gives me some ideas. And the gold chargers. This Royal Limited Christmas pattern we sometimes see at estate sales, brand new in boxes. It was sold at Dillard's department store. I like that holly theme, but our tablecloth does have a white background, and this is more ivory. So I think that I will not add this pattern, but it is a great addition for your holiday table. Royal Limited, Holly Holiday made in Japan. The poinsettia pattern would work beautifully with the gold band. And they brought in some more glassware. Libby Glass Company made a lot of these to match certain patterns. This is not actually the spode because we don't see Santa at the top. A set of 10 for $45. Let's have a look at some of their other glassware. These are great. We don't always have to set the table with goblets. We can use highballs, the ruby balloon wines, and the frosted ice beverages. Quite intriguing. Not something that we see too often. I like that combination. The double old fashions. Those are well priced for $4, $1 a piece. And a familiar pattern with an interesting history that we've shared at Cherry Street Antiques and Tomball, King's Crown, a regal edition. We've got lots of great options for glassware today. Glassware makes a huge impact on your table and something your guests will use throughout the meal. It should be comfortable and hold just enough of the beverage. And the ice beverage is one of my favorite glasses. This is the Winterwood from Pfalzgraf, priced at $39 for a set of 4. These sell on the secondary market for $39 each. King's Crown with the ruby flashing has a rich history. When you find this in an antique consignment or thrift, you may wonder, is it Tiffin Franciscan or is it Indiana glass? I'll tell you all the differences. The King's Crown pattern began as Excelsior with Adams & Company in 1890, was later produced by Tiffin from 1940 to 1962 with the oval-shaped thumbprints and slight flare. This, however, is not from Tiffin. It is Indiana glass, later sold under their Colony brand as Colony Crown. We see 2 mold marks. That's indicative of Indiana, whereas the Tiffin Franciscan would have 3 mold marks. Vintage barware, mugs, and wine glasses. This would be a festive addition to your breakfast table, your bar cart. And these are made by Lennox, priced at $22 for this set. They are fun and festive. And these are waiting for our holiday table setting. They are stunning with a great history. And the price is right, made by Anchor Hawking. Ruby Beauties from Anchor Hawking of Lancaster, Ohio. These were made in the 1950s in a festive forest green, and the ruby with that classic bubble foot would be a fun addition to our holiday table. These were 25 cents each in 1954, or a set of 8 for $1.79. They may have been priced a bit high originally, but with some markdowns, they're now $40 for a set of 8. Flatware is harder to find when you're out resale shopping. We've got some great options here. The stainless steel Fairhill pattern from Oneida is in a silver chest with some serving pieces, priced at $131.25. Silver-plated bundles, and my favorite, sterling silver. When you're having a brunch or lunch at your home, you may have a more casual table, you can still incorporate sterling silver. It's not just for formal occasions. And this is a bit of an investment. It is getting more expensive and something that you might want to save for. A classic pattern from Gorham. I will share some of that history with you from a familiar English designer that has made some of our favorite patterns over the years. The Buttercup pattern launched in 1899, designed by William Christmas Codman of the Gorham Silver Manufacturing Company. He has an interesting history. Born in Norfolk, England, he got his start working in abbeys and cathedrals with the Ely Cathedral, and later designed a candelabra for St. Paul's and the lighting ware for Notre Dame in Luxembourg. Gorham hired William Christmas Codman in 1891 to head their design department. He created the Chantilly pattern in 1895. 2 years later, the Strasbourg, and many other patterns, including, of course, Buttercup in 1899. He has 55 patterns attributed to his design. And the Buttercup is well priced, even though it is a big investment. $1,646 is the next markdown. They retail for $1,100 a place setting. You could have some fun with serving pieces. It does not always have to match your sterling silver pattern. These would be a wonderful addition for your holiday serving. And it's sold as a bundle, new with tags. Let's have a closer look. You could serve the meal and then dessert. And that slotted spoon is practical. The Lenox Holiday Jewel Collection is a great set of serveware. It's actually still a current item. Sells for $55 for a set of 3 serving spoons. Here we get the cake server set as well. This would be a nice addition to the holiday table and could even make a great gift. Just wrap a ribbon around it. These are truly the jewels of the table with the red spiral design and silver embellishment. You'll want to look at the price tag at first glance. $52 might be out of your budget, but if you look down according to the date, you will get a better price if it's still available. We're looking for some centerpiece ideas. The Swans A-Swimming from Fitz and Floyd, and the Waterford Crystal centerpiece with a beautiful tree, brand new with that Waterford sticker. The initial price is $75, and it has gone down quite a bit. The Indiana glass ruby flashing punch bowl, you could fill that with ornaments. Well priced too. It's gone down to $30. Great for entertaining. This Fitz and Floyd has my attention. It's a bit whimsical and has lots of different colors, themes, and that could add to our holly tablecloth nicely. Fitz and Floyd is highly collectible, and this cookie jar could be a perfect centerpiece for our holiday table. They have a great history dating back to 1960 in Dallas, Texas, with 2 partners in the porcelain import business, Pat Fitzpatrick and Bob Floyd. Let's see if we can incorporate this into our setting. It adds interest to build layers on a table, whether it is a charger under a plate or a base for a centerpiece. Cake stands work nicely, and I'm thinking one of these meat platters would add some interest to our table. And I'm loving the initial hand engraved. That Spode Christmas, Mad About Plaid. This platter would be a nice decorative element. It is from Mud Pie with the reindeer. Price at $16.50. A trio of silver-plated meat tree platters. This is a well that's meant to collect the au jus when you are serving meat. Priced at $40, this could be a great way to elevate our Fitz and Floyd centerpiece. Add light and a pop of color to the centerpiece. These are very well priced and fit a taper candle or a pillar. The seasonal display has the perfect pair of trees. These will stand tall with our centerpiece. And more good ideas for our salad plates. I'm liking this holly design from Mikasa. Priced at $10 for a set of 4. The White Christmas pattern. The metal serveware is a practical addition to your tabletop collection, and the Wilton Armatella Acanthus is a workhorse. I have carried this to parties, potlucks, and have utilized it in our home. Very well priced today. The Waterford Crystal Santas, great collection. I'm looking for table favors for our place setting. There's the classic Lismore. I like the ball ornaments. I think those would work well. And it looks like we can find at least 4. The Waterford pitcher and butter dish. This is an older piece. The classic Waterford. And now we are ready to set our table. Bringing all of these ideas and components together, and we can always add more and shop the store. I always say shop your home and then your local resale shop for some great additions. The seahorse pattern from Waterford. Well priced and perfect for gifting. With the original stickers. And I will bring that Wilton Armatella Canthus platter over. It is a great size for the Santa cookie jar. And I found some ornaments and other items in their seasonal section. We have the components of the table ready to set and style. I have added some centerpiece ideas, table favors, and this Waterford Crystal Lismore pitcher that is well priced at $74.25. It's a blend of classic, whimsical, and vintage. I would love to hear from you in the comments about your plans for holiday table setting. Perhaps you have a pattern or vintage item to inspire your setting. The trees stand tall, and the Waterford covered butter is a classic. Marquee by Waterford, I remember when they made the poinsettia bowl. And the ornaments are a nice surprise for our guests. There's such detail in this Fitz and Floyd cookie jar. We'll have to look at it from all angles. A sleigh full of surprises. And here we have our table setting. And there's so much more we could have added to it. This is a great starting point. And I know some of you don't like to have a fussy table. You want plenty of space for those serving dishes. And I've tried to leave lots of area for that. I love the blend of the glassware. And here's a closer look at the toys and Santa's sleigh and our place setting. We saw some other great options for centerpiece ideas. And we could certainly rework this table in many ways. I like to add something sweet. Here we have the American Brilliant with some Lindt truffles. Secondhand is grand. We've been able to shop this store to bring together all of the elements of the table to welcome family and friends for the holiday season. And we've also found some table favors, which can be your Christmas gift. Waterford crystal ornament nestled in a candle ring inside of a Waterford crystal bowl. The table favor is nestled in a berry candle ring inside a Gorham crystal bowl made in Germany. They had quite a bit of American Brilliant, very well priced. This was $10 for the nappy and ideal for our chocolates on the table. I shopped other areas of the store for bags of pine cones, silk flowers, and floral picks. And I also added some ornaments around that acanthus tray to build some layers and add interest. And it incorporates the cookie jar nicely. I like the continuity of the holly design, that repeat pattern. It does not overpower our centerpiece or place setting. And we are ready for guests. We could have easily set a table for 6. It is such fun shopping a charity resale or table setting ideas. A quick and easy napkin fold, the celebration ribbon that works well for the holidays, birthdays, anniversaries, and many occasions. I will give you a quick tutorial. I encourage you to join our Facebook group page, Lady Mary Beth's Table, where we have many members that share their tabletop tips. Take a square napkin, place it diagonally on the table, preferably with the reverse side showing. Bring it to a point, forming a triangle, and roll it up. It is quite easy. And we will flip each side over, both tails, and then take the base and the top only on one side and feed your napkin ring or candle ring through it. Fluff it a bit to form the celebration napkin fold. There are many different napkin folds we could utilize for the holidays, including the Christmas tree fold that I have shared in this store a couple of years ago and recently at Ma'am Resale. Some great options here in the store to arrange a Christmas-themed table. And perhaps you need just one element to complete your table. You can shop your local antique consignment or thrift. It's this easy to shop your local charity resale and style a Christmas table. So glad you joined me today for the Charity Guild Shop. We found some wonderful tabletop essentials and great gifts. Thanks again for joining Lady Mary Beth. Elevate your everyday with holiday thrifting.